Today we end the transfer window and we'll be making a couple of pre-contract signings for the Champions League only season next season, and also hopefully ensuring that we can stay top of the Premier League. In the meantime, we have the opportunity to get to the Carabao Cup final today as well, and to progress in the FA Cup too. Thank you for all of your feedback over the past few episodes. I will be, as you've requested, simulating all of the Europa League games other than the final should we get there, as it's just, you guys aren't interested in that competition, so that's completely fair. For the time being, we shall be playing all of the Premier League games, and obviously I've only got one more Carabao Cup game before the final, but that you'd like me to play just in a regular episode, not as a one-off special like we did last year. And then the FA Cup, we'll just wait and see who we have in that competition. The way that we line up is obviously slightly changed. We're struggling with injuries right now. There was some call to sell Atal or one of the goalkeepers, younger rated goalkeepers, to free up some money to buy in a rotation player, but I don't think that I'd be able to get anyone worthwhile having at this stage. So I'm just going to leave it for now, and we will make the two pre-contract signings that I'm going to make, and then from there we should be able to deal with the rest of the season as it is. So thank you for all of your feedback. The most popular suggestion with regards a player for pre-contract for next season was Ansu Fati, actually. So I'll try and get him in, and then really I think Oscar Melendo is going to be the other one that I go for, because Donian Marlon plays out wide, but he is a striker. And obviously if we get a striking injury, he's going to need to move up top. And it is out wide where we're struggling right now. I've had to move Atal back to right wing, and Tyler Wright's on the left-hand side as we struggle with injuries to Cunha and to Orlan and to Joel Morris, who's out for a few days now as well. Only a few days, but it's still going to impact us for one fixture. So we'll start by playing Crystal Palace, and then we'll sim Scunthorpe, we'll sim Liverpool, and we'll play Leicester City on the final day of the transfer window. And then from there, we shall wait and see what happens for the rest of the season. But I'm confident that we can win multiple trophies this season. We did a double of sorts last year with the Europa League and the FA Cup, and we shall try and do something similar this season, but maybe make it 4 trophies if we possibly can. So Ansu Fati I shall approach to sign. He's on 165 grand a week currently, but they reckon I could get him for between 125 and 175. He wants an important squad role. I shall counter with rotation and hope that he'll sign it. Okay, I mean, it's only going to be the Champions League that we're playing next season anyway, so it's really not that much of an issue. I will simulate all of the other games next season. There have been some comments about that, and some comments on Facebook and replies on Twitter, etc. So I'll be simulating all of the other games outside of just the Champions League next year. So the next season will literally only be like 4 or 5 episodes long, and the Cambridge United series will follow swiftly after that, so don't worry. It's not going to be dramatically delayed. It will literally just be by a few days. Let's give Ansu Fati, offer him £130,000 a week, a £500,000 signing on fee, and he'll sign it. Superb. He's taken a wage cut to join us. Ansu Fati will be a welcome addition to the team. Ordinarily, we would only sign one player on a free contract, but as it's for the last season, or the last mini season, I'm quite happy to make multiple signings. Oscar Melendo we shall bring in as well. I'll try and also get him to sign a rotation deal, but he too will want an important one, and I'm not overly fussed about that either. 3 years is honestly, outside of just getting them into the club, it doesn't matter what they're on or for how long, because it's completely unimportant. We'll remove the bonus, and I'll offer you £99,000 a week. Will you sign that? Yes. Okay, good. I'm sorely tempted to try and get Nicolo Barella in as well, just because why not? Fuck it, I'm gonna get Nicolo Barella. Like, it's just gonna be like a 4 or 5 episode mini series with the Champions League. Why not play with a player I've not used before? I'm obviously probably open to signing any of these three again in a future series earlier on than just a little mini end of series thing. But let me remove that and make that 125, because why not? Sign it. Good lad. Well, we'll get 3 new pre-contract signings for next season. That should help us win the Champions League, I'd like to think. We'll play with this team here, and then Scunthorpe and Liverpool will follow, and then Leicester at the end of the episode. Do drop the video a like if you enjoy. Make sure you subscribe to the channel too so you don't miss out on any more content with the notification bell ticked. Please do come across and join me on Twitch for a stream this afternoon, and I will see you over there hopefully. But for now, I'll see you at Selhurst Park. I missed the intro, so their starting lineup is as follows. Karius, Ganaka, Ambrosius, Gunduz, Nunez with Unara, Lee Subin, Parks, Bassi and Kirby sat behind Borja Iglesias. 5 in midfield might be quite difficult to get through, but once we do get through, I think we should be able to score a handful of goals in this game. At least I would very much like to, as again, goal difference being quite tight with Manchester City is going to be important, especially if they end up beating me at the beginning of next month. I cannot afford to lose that game, really, but we shall ensure, or try to ensure, that we are prepared for that eventuality should it happen. Weston McKennie to Jamie Shackleton, and Bowen unfortunately can't get past Lee Subin, and they've got the ball back, but then Weston McKennie goes and wins it back for me again. So not too fussed about that. Bowen into Shackleton. Oh, I tried to squeeze that through to Weston, who made a great run, but I couldn't quite get it through the gap. Attal will take the throw. He's playing on the right-hand side of midfield at the minute to cover for Joel Morris's injury, but unfortunately we haven't been able to find the way through that midfield to really get in behind the defensive line, which is what I was hoping I'd be able to do in the opening stages. Young Price is filling in at left-back again, and away there. I mean, it was away, but it wasn't the best of clearances. 12 minutes into the game. Kirby to take the throw for Palace. Oh, Keaton's destroyed me. And he could cross. He's going to pull that back there to Ganaka. The left-back whips it in. And Tomori wins the header. And McKennie should get to that. Can't, but thankfully they've knocked it only as far as Tyler Adams. And Wright can push forward here. And we have a great opportunity to score a good counter goal. Tyler Wright has scored a couple of goals on his left foot. Not on this occasion, though. Oh, Jamie Shackleton tries the overhead, and it couldn't have fallen kinder for Jared Bowen. A simple finish. He didn't need 98 finishing there. He could have had 9.8 finishing, and he'd have buried that. I wish Jamie Shackleton's overhead kick had gone in, though. That would have been quite the spectacular one. Initially, Tyler Wright's, but that would have been quite the spectacular goal for the young man. Simple finish, and we lead by a goal to nil. Let's make sure that isn't the last goal we score today. Kirby holds me off well and goes back down the line. Ganaka forward to Kirby again. That's a decent delivery. Tomori headed away. Keeper came for it, and thankfully Tomori did get there. Otherwise, if he'd have missed it, keeper probably wouldn't have gotten to it, and it might have been a simple header home for the Palace man in the middle. He couldn't ask for more space on the edge of the box there. Lee Sun-bin. Brandon Cooper will work that away. Was rather fortunate that it fell the way that it did, but we've been rather lucky with the way the ball's been falling so far in this game, haven't we? Shackleton to Bowen. I'll poke that ahead looking for the pace of Tyler Adams, but it's well matched by the run of the defender. Keaton through the gap there to Bassi, who will turn back and dink that over the top towards Ganaka. Down he brings it. In he could whip it. And away, Price could flick it. Palace are trying, but this whole get it down the line and cross it business isn't working. I don't think they realise that this is FIFA 20, not FIFA 19. As soon as they make that distinction in their own minds, then maybe they might start creating some better chances. As ever, the AI having more possession than me, but as ever, we are in front. Weston McKennie. No need for a fancy back heel. Oh, thank you. I was just about to end the highlight. I was going to say 15 minutes to go till half-time, and it's still 1-0. And that, apparently, is not a foul. Okay! Corner for Palace. Bassi to deliver it into the middle. It's not the best, actually. Shackleton will win that. Tyler Wright's not the tallest, but thankfully neither was Parks in the middle there. Here's Keaton. Bassi to Kirby. Actually, I think it was Kirby that was underneath that header, wasn't it? Oh, Brandon Cooper tried to put the tackle in. He's walked through it, but thankfully the shot was really tame. That was a bit of a let-off there after... Oh, come on. You can get that ball down the line. It's not hard. Thank you, Emerson. Bit of a let off there as they just walk through the defensive challenge, but thankfully we're able to deal with it. And Shackleton, I thought for a minute it had opened up for him, but I didn't see the number 21 there. McKennie, Bowen. Do we use the pass? I'm going to have to try and use someone else. I was going to try it solo there with Bowen. Out of his feet. Try it early. Oh, good save by Loris Karius to deny us a second. Can we get it from the corner instead? Bowen to deliver it. Can he get an assist? Some more, he's up with a header. But it's gone wide. Right. Thrown in to Adams. Closed down quite quickly, actually. Can I get that to Bowen? No. Lee Subin's intercepted that well. When we got the early-ish goal, I was kind of hoping we'd build on that, but actually it was Palace in that first half that built the better and grew into the game. Unfortunately, Tyler Adams not able to hold off the defender there. And we still haven't really had many clear-cut opportunities for a second goal. Adams has done well enough to win that back. We will try and build again. Bowen trying to get away from Parks. He's determined not to let me get away. McKennie, Adams, Shackleton. Bit of acceleration maybe. Drop the shoulder, look for Bowen. Well, we looked for Bowen, but he didn't look for the ball, annoyingly. Transfer going through there, £75 million or so. Raheem Sterling from Barcelona to Arsenal. I bet that's not a transfer you ever thought you'd see going through. Onura in behind here. Again, they're going for the crossing option. And again, it doesn't work for them. Ganaka to Bassi. Back to Ganaka. Back to Bassi. Here's Keaton. Glazias. Kirby. Really important block by Cooper. If he gets a clean shot off there, that is 1-1. Up we go. Emerson with a good header. That's how challenging. Kirby comes away with it. I'm getting more and more worried the longer that it stays at 1 that Palace are going to find an equaliser. I really don't want to drop any points between now and the game against City, because I'd love to stay 3 points to City as a minimum until that game, and then when we get City, beat them and extend the lead further, rather than drop points between now and City and have to just re-extend the lead to what it is now. Tyler Wright with a good header away. Bowen, a little bit of footwork. How's your pace? Oh, Lee Subin trying everything to stop me from getting through. Willing to take a tactical foul and a yellow card. Oh, Jared! That's outrageous. It's Leeds 2, it's Bowen 2. Silencing the haters. He can't hear anyone with those fingers in the ears. A delicious chipped finish. Here's a Glazias for Palace. Esposito back to Innes. Basili Subin. Glazias again to Esposito. Picked off nicely by Cooper. It wasn't meant for Jamie Shackleton. It was meant for Weston McKennie. But eventually McKennie does have the ball at his feet. Two Americans link up nicely. Bowen definitely failed. But Tyler Adams has made a great run. I can't quite find him. Still got the ball at his feet though. Not for long. We'll have that foul though, because that's definitely a shooting position. Now then, Jared, can you bury this in the back of the net, please, sir? I shall try and pop it as close to the corner as I can get it. Come on now. There we go. And if I can time this green, which I can't, oof, we might have scored a worldy third. Not to be, just the 2-0, but that'll do me very nicely. Will you kick it, please, Loris? He's literally held on to the ball for a minute and a half. Leeds 2, Crystal Palace 0. 3 points. Now, I don't know who City have got this match day weekend. I hope they've dropped points, because we could really dominate the top of the table. They're 1-0 down to Liverpool after 75 minutes. See that through, please, Liverpool. Never have I wanted Liverpool to win a game more. Bowen with 2 goals to secure a win. Very impressive performance from him. I'm unsure why his morale is so low. We're unbeaten now in 15 Premier League games. I think 21 is the longest that we've gone unbeaten in any particular run, isn't it? I think in the league. I'm not entirely too sure. Right, Scunthorpe coming up next. We'll give those fans a bit of a, well, I say a bit of a treat. We'll give them the respect that they have earned from getting themselves to the 4th round of the FA Cup, and we'll use our strongest 11. Plymouth, Gillingham and Cheltenham is who they've had in the Cup so far. That's not the most difficult of runs, to be fair, for Scunthorpe. This is the first proper test that they've had. And I imagine it'll be a test that they'll fail. Daniel Marlon with 2 inside half an hour. On for a hat-trick here. They pick up a yellow card, then a straight red card, and Sancho adds a 3rd. Sorry, Scunthorpe. Marlon with his hat-trick 5 minutes later. Not to be. Not to be for the Iron. It's going to be 4-0. It's going to be 5-0. Can Sancho get himself a hat-trick as well? No. We're through to the 5th round of the FA Cup. Who we'll have, I'm not sure, but Liverpool up next for us in the Carabao Cup semi-final. Of course, we're 4-0 up from that first leg, so we don't need to worry about that at all. Let's move a towel back there, and Price can come out now for the recovered... Joel Morris, he's not actually fully recovered, but bollocks to it. It's a simulated game. He'll be fine. Don't need to go to the press conference. We battered them in the first leg. I really don't see Liverpool winning this by 5-0, if I'm completely honest. So we should be through to the Carabao Cup final for back-to-back seasons. Let's actually win it this year, shall we? I got destroyed by Arsenal by 4-0 last year. Weston McKennie gets himself sent off, and Vinicius Junior scores a second. I'm getting slightly nervous. Valverde adds a third. I'm getting really nervous. It's 4-3 on aggregate now. 10 minutes to go. Has Weston McKennie's red card cost us the final? No, it hasn't. That was nervier than it need be, wasn't it? Jesus Christ. Weston McKennie suspended. Is it just a domestic ban? It is just a domestic ban, so he will be available for the final, thankfully. And Liverpool did beat City in that Premier League game. So our gap at the top of the Premier League table as we head into transfer deadline day is 6 points. We could make it more if City mess up on this match day and then we face them in a week's time. And that could make it 9. Even 12 if City drop points on this weekend as well, provided we win against Leicester. This could be one of the best episodes we've had for a long time with regards league form. I'll reject that offer from Barcelona for Alan Saint-Maximin. Thank you very much. He's staying put. We'll have a look at transfer deadline day once we get back from this game, but we're going to welcome Leicester to Ellen Road. Found is good form. We'll switch tactics for this one. Going to play the strongest 11. The opponents we face today are hungry for victory, but the lads want it more. We want to ensure that we get the Premier League title this season, and our momentum isn't going to drop. There might be a slight overconfident tone to that, but I'm sure we'll be okay. Leicester City at home to go potentially 9 points clear at the top of the Premier League. Right, Leicester's starting lineup. Daniel Everson in goal for them again. Justin, Pau Torres, Germain Conti and Ben Chilwell. Tielemans, Chowdhury and Amin Harit again. Sergio Canos, Tony Sanabria and Noah Lang. Lang is always a pain in the arse to play against, but we should be able to deal with this. 3 points, please. Dear Manchester City, please lose again. That would be wonderful. Back inside nicely to Noah Lang. Lang again. Nice tackle by Ben White. It will go out for a throw. Lang will throw it back. There was some discontent in the comment section over the past couple of videos about the amount of games that I've been playing with the rotation 11. But with the nature of the... Oh, that is a hell of a leap from Militao. With the nature of the fixture list currently, I haven't really had much choice to try and ensure that everybody stays as fit as possible and that we ensure that we get as best a result set as possible. I have had to rotate quite regularly during January and December, or December and January, whichever way you want to phrase it. So I do apologise that there's been slightly more games played with the rotation 11 than you might have hoped for, but that's just the scenario we find ourselves in at this stage of the season. It will even out later on in the year. We did this during this period last season where the rotation side played more football than usual through this busy fixture list period, but it was always going to be the case when you get to European competition that there are just so many games to be played throughout the course of a season that you need a full squad. And I needed Donyell Marland to bury that in the corner, and unfortunately on his left foot it's just slid wide. Nice ball over the top, looking for Sanabria here to start the half for Leicester. Triple step over, but tackled nicely. Bit of space for Sancho. Chilwell did adjust his position though to deal with the threat as he recognised it. Sancho into Tyler Roberts, quickly to Donyell Marland. Wasn't the best of balls. Is Renato going to arrive on my outside? Yes, he is. Is Renato going to score us a goal? Yes, he is. I love Renato Sanchez. He really is disappointed with the way that his rating hasn't gone up. He's been outstanding for 2 seasons now, Renato Sanchez. and dynamic potential hasn't done him any favours whatsoever. I don't understand why he hasn't grown to 88 rated at this stage, because he's been phenomenal in that box-to-box role. Absolutely outstanding. Another goal for Renato Sanchez, another important goal for Renato Sanchez. Wouldn't let me lock onto the ball there with the defender, or there either. Apparently, dinking the ball like that is a surefire way to ensure that the defender can't tackle you. That's annoying. Saint-Maximin into Tyler Roberts. A quick-fire double would be absolutely superb. We'll play that around the outside of the defender. Sanchez will dart inside, but it's a heavy touch, and it's poor from Jadon. That's annoying. Never mind. We have our 1-0 lead now, and at this stage, I know I was concentrating on goal difference in the game against Palace. At the moment, with the way that this one's gone, I'm happy just to keep the win now, especially considering we've got a 6-point gap to City, provided we win this. So, goal difference isn't going to be as important. Right now, it's a case of just getting the victories. And then if the gap starts to close again, then we need to start worrying about goal difference again. But for now, quite happy just to pick up the wins. Phillips out wide to Hakimi. Down the line, looking for Sancho. Sat in quite deep here, Leicester now. Just trying to ensure they don't concede another, whilst giving themselves the opportunity to get back into the game when they go up the other end. But I'd very much like them to concede another. So they have the opportunity, and they are stereotypically or traditionally in the Premier League in recent times a very dangerous counter-attacking side, and you can see the bodies flood forward there. Thankfully, their final pass wasn't as good as it need be. Let's try and build myself. Thankfully, they haven't got the pace of Jamie Vardy up top, nor the deadly finish of Jamie Vardy up top, as they would do at the beginning of a save. Leicester are a side that have never really had massively large amounts of world-class players, but they have such team spirit and such great group mentality and positive morale and work ethic that they always seem to do quite well. Obviously, the league-winning season was the standout, but even outside of that in recent years, they've really become a really capable side. Engel makes a great save. Brendan Rodgers has been a large part of that in the most recent times. Obviously, when they had N'Golo Kante and Riyad Mahrez for that league-winning season, that certainly helped. But Vardy just will not stop scoring goals. Doesn't matter how old he's getting or where he's playing, he has always been a truly deadly goal scorer. Thankfully, despite early issues in our Premier League time, or even in our Championship time, Tyler, can't find that pass. We have found our own deadly goal scorers. If you remember, we went probably 4 or 5 seasons in this save, really struggling to get a striker to score a number of goals. And that was our main issue in trying to get ourselves from promoted Championship side to genuine European spot contenders in the Premier League. We went 13th place finish, 11th place finish, 8th place finish. It just wouldn't go for us. Then Donyell Marlin came in and we turned the corner. Then Orlan came in as well and we moved further around that corner. And now, with the side as strong as it is, we are really at our absolute best. Unfortunately, our absolute best wasn't enough to get through the Champions League group stage. It was only just good enough to get through that challenge against Leicester. But through it we did get, and 3 points we did earn. Team comes first. Jarrod Bowen will certainly have a lot to play between now and the rest of the season. But we're 16 games unbeaten in the Premier League now. And we were the better team, despite them having more chances. Our one shot on target was the only goal of the game. So, as we head into deadline day then, the top transfer thus far is Sterling to Arsenal for £75 million. Pablo Fornals has finally left West Ham and gone to Lyon. And Daka has gone to Atletico Madrid for 26.5. But that is a very quiet transfer deadline day so far. Very quiet. Not deadline day, window. A very quiet window so far. And I think that's the first time I've actually seen nothing go through at all in the first hour. And nothing's going to go through in the second hour either. Apparently, no one has any... Oh, no! Someone's got some money. Someone's got some money. They've just spent £210,000. Although, who it was, I'm not sure. This a deal, at least. It's almost unheard of. Oh, Heung-min Son from Manchester United to Napoli was that deal that took it up there. United to Napoli. I'm not sure how high rated Heung-min Son is at this stage. Sort by dates we can see that one. Can I see it, please? Where are you, Heung-min Son? Come on, there you go. How old is he now? 33. Okay, no wonder that he's not in their starting lineup anymore. I did wonder why they weren't playing him. It's rather evident now. Odsonne Edouard has gone to Inter Milan for £36 million. That's now the third biggest deal of this transfer window. I bet Edouard has grown well. Actually, I don't know. What is his potential outside of... I'm not sure what his potential is, you know. Outside of the dynamic potential. I don't know his... What have I done there? I don't know is he's got a massively large potential off the bat. If you want Odsonne Edouard to grow massively well, to be fair, 85 isn't bad. 87 finishing. But I bet if you signed him early on in a save, he could grow into the 90s with dynamic potential, because he's the sort of player that just suits FIFA mechanics. Strong, physical, good finish, powerful finish, and really could be a tremendous player for anyone. Right, so as we end transfer deadline day then, they're the three biggest deals of the window. We'll have a look and see what minimal transfers was done in January. Minimal from Bournemouth. A little bit from Arsenal. Money financially, Pavon leaving and Sterling coming in to replacing. But I'm not sure how old Raheem Sterling is at the moment. Boetius and Cynic coming in at Brighton. But I imagine all of these zero spent are either loans or pre-contracts at this stage. Calvert-Lewin has left Chelsea. Where he's gone, I'm not sure. I imagine that's Ronaldo Vieira in at Crystal Palace. Pavon has gone to Everton. That's where he went from Arsenal. Fati, Melendo and Barella coming to me for next season. Berger and Weigl coming into Leicester for next season. Berger leaving Liverpool to go there. City have done nothing. United have sold Son and let Weigl go on a free. So he'll be there for the rest of the season at least. Nothing for Forest. Minimal for Southampton. Chapman is in at Tottenham. Don't know who that is. Might be a regen at this stage. And really, not much happening on transfer deadline day. Thankfully, everything was happening for us on the field of play. 4 games, 4 wins, 1 final, 1 fifth round assured, which is against Chelsea. Oh no, that's the Carabao Cup final against Chelsea. And the next round, the FA Cup, hasn't been drawn yet, but we'll have City in tomorrow's episode. We'll play Wolves in tomorrow's episode, and the next round of the FA Cup when it's drawn in February, and we'll sim both legs against Porto. Things look good for us right now for the end of the season. If we can win the opening game tomorrow, things will look great for us for the remainder of the season. With, if we win that game, 12 games remaining, being 9 points clear. That is such a strong position to be in moving forward. Thank you very much for watching today, guys. Very much appreciate your support on the channel recently. Please do keep it coming. Make sure you drop videos a thumbs up if you enjoy them. Feel free to leave a dislike if you didn't, but let me know why in the comment section down below so I can try and improve the channel. Of course, as ever, follow me on Twitch or Twitter, or both, on the links below. I'll be live streaming later on this afternoon some FUT Champions, so come across and join me, and I'll see you next time.